The fall semester is getting close, but the Delta variant of COVID is causing a lot of concern. Small businesses are starting to come back, are worried that COVID might shut them down again, and we profile a local business that sells graduation stools. Graduation what? We'll have those stories next on Bobcat Report. Hello, welcome to Bobcat Report. I'm Kennedy Sutton. Students at Texas State are getting ready to come back to school just as COVID-19 is starting to pick up again. Noah Prothro has a look at how that might affect the new school year.
When the pandemic began, many students were forced to evacuate their on campus housing in a matter of days. With the return to on campus living and in person classes fast approaching, many students are worried about the possibility of a second wave of evacuations.
Yeah, I remember having to move out of campus housing. It was very sudden. Just kind of woke up. The president of the university said, "Go home," and it was very nerve wracking almost because there's a level of uncertainty that we all felt, and that was almost worse was the adjustment to online schooling, which was very hard to do, and it took its toll. So I'm pretty worried with that we might have to experience something similar and shift back to a virtual setting for this next semester.
According to the CDC, there are 5 COVID variants, labeled the variants of concern, that have emerged since the pandemic began. Only 50% of individuals over age 12 have been vaccinated in the state of Texas, and classes are set to reopen at 100% capacity for the fall semester. As of May 19th, masks are no longer required on campus. On campus housing protocols for the fall semester have not yet been revealed, even with most classes beginning in less than a month. Noah Prothro, Bobcat Report.
And there's a growing number of students who don't want to come back to campus. Sam Searles reports.
Although there are plans to return to campus in person for the fall semester, there's a surge of students who do not want to return to classes on campus this fall. With the rise of the Delta variant of COVID-19, the thought of an empty campus being transformed to fully populated is unsettling to some, especially after becoming comfortable with bedroom university or working remotely from their bedrooms. Holly Harrison, a senior advertising major at Texas State University, has become accustomed to the routine of doing coursework remotely and doesn't see the point of in-person classes just yet. To her, the only way to safely return to campus is with many precautions in place.
I don't trust other students to be as responsible as they should be. I think there'd have to be a lot of accountability from the school to take precautions and make sure people are going to be taken care of if they did get sick.
From the viewpoint of college professors, the return to campus is exciting. The thought of being able to connect to students once again in a classroom setting is a relief and brings back a pre-pandemic reality that many educational professionals have missed during remote learning. For professors like Dr. Sydney Royal, professor and director of the Media Innovation Lab at Texas State University, she believes that there is an unsung benefit to remote learning and that we should start offering more courses online.
I'm excited to get back into the classroom so I can help students with their projects, but online learning has really shown us that we can tackle almost any subject in an online manner, and that provides a lot of flexibility for students who want to take the class in another place, or if they have a job and they want to take a summer class.
Even with the hesitation of some students to return to campus this upcoming fall, an in-person return is still planned. The future of COVID and a fully populated campus is still unknown, but some online courses are available for those that need it. Sam Searles, Bobcat Report.
The new threat of COVID comes just as small businesses are starting to get back on their feet. Aaron Melkor has the story of a coffee shop that's been able to hang in there.
Business owner Aswini Swivaswamy established CESA back in 2005 and has been providing beverages to the Central Austin community for just over 15 years.
So the desire to share wellness and mindset is what led to the launch of CESA. Awareness and resources are absolutely necessary. However, what we uncovered is that the practice is what creates change. We created products that incorporated the health benefits based on Ayurvedic principles.
The main goal is to promote good health, and her company, CESA, features premium wellness products from traditional chai to unique blends of tea and coffee. As with other businesses, the pandemic brought on many challenges, but Sessa found ways to adapt and persevere. Dwayne Allen, Marketing and Social Outreach Director, shares his thoughts.
As we all know, when the pandemic hit, that changed the entire dynamic of how we serve our customers. So we had to change everything up, including our delivery system and our models for how we were able to provide the products to our customers. That's the process that we're going through, and the pandemic allowed us to take some time to actually figure out what can we do to actually really shift in a positive direction, and then also cater to all our clients, the bars, restaurants, cafes, and all the community folks that we serve.
An aspect of their mission is to make a positive impact in the community by offering wellness products and healthy beverage options to anyone open to healthier lifestyles. Today, they are making larger batches of coffee and brewing up more tea as the economy slowly gets stronger. Aaron Melcher, Bobcat Report.
The situation is much the same for another well-known San Marcos business. They just moved to a new spot downtown. Joshua Mata paid them a visit.
Jam's Music Shop is where you can buy and have your guitar repaired by Ace Pepper. Moving from their old location off of Aquarina Springs to their new location off of North LBJ Drive across from Sean Patrick's, I was able to talk to Ace about how the new building is treating him and his staff.
Folks are finding the place, old friends are finding me, customers are finding me. It's pretty cool. We leased the space starting in June. We took the month of June to move in. We actually postponed opening for a couple of weeks so I could get some stock of guitars, because it's been a little hard to get some of the low-end stuff from China. And so we actually postponed opening a couple of weeks to get in some shipments and some stuff and stock the place. But we opened, I guess, second week of July. We've been open about 2 weeks now, fully open.
I was also able to talk to the front of the store with Caleb Pandaman Harris about how he was feeling about the move.
Honestly, I'm really digging it. The older place was a little bit bigger, but this place doesn't feel that much smaller, and it's just it fits what we need really well. It's just about the right size for what we can fill. The energy flow in here is really good, and the location being on just off the square is really cool.
Here at the new location, Ace is fitting in comfortably, where he is able to repair, talk to customers about their guitars, and even jam out again.
So, whenever you're ready to get your guitar repaired, you'll be greeted by Caleb Pandaman Wilson and Ace Pepper here at the new location of Jam's Music. For Bobcat Report, I'm Joshua Mata.
When we come back, a look at how relationships are changing, and for movie fans, Space Jam is worth a look.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
It's been a tough year and a half for most of us, and interpersonal relationships have been put to the test. Kira Villela reports on how we can keep them in a good shape.
For 24-year-old Jasmine Thompson, creating new, healthy habits and unlearning bad ones have been her routine for the past couple months. After her breakup, she found that she had let herself go and had been too consumed by a relationship that was not getting better.
I started realizing I'm not happy. I'm not okay. I'm not cleaning up my apartment. I'm not playing with my dog as much, not going on walks, not exercising, not doing things I want to do or reaching my goals. And it's starting to show.
According to Nico Martinez, a recent psychology graduate from UT, believes that toxic situations can affect people in plenty of ways.
Loss of self. It could be sort of neglecting long-term goals for short-term relief, and then sort of just like hyper insecurity, or this feeling like from now on you have to compete with the opposite sex because of how you've been hurt in the past.
Toxicity can bring a lot of stress during and after a relationship. Jasmine shares her ways to de-stress and reclaim her old self.
Focusing mainly on my dog because he's really important to me. Like, my dog's like my child. I started like getting back into my arts. I started painting again. I even found my own spiritual journey by getting into tarot and really connecting with myself.
It is important to try and recognize the red flags earlier in the relationship. Martinez suggests watching out for people who are unable to set or respect boundaries, people who are financially irresponsible, and people who don't have their own goals or motivation. Just like many others, Jasmine's experience has served as a learning lesson for her. She acknowledges that although it's great to have a support system like friends or family, the ultimate decision lies within yourself.
Don't let others pressure you. Even friends at times, like, you are going to have to do it yourself. There's not going to be anyone else who can do it for you.
Relationships will never come easy, but it is always up to you to learn and grow from the situation. Kyra Villela, Bobcat Report.
Still, some relationships go sour, and that can lead to children who have a tough time adjusting to society. Bryson Kick reports.
Res Care Rehab specializes in teaching these children the social and cognitive skills they need to perform everyday life functions. From behavioral issues to mental issues, the staff is helping these children learn life skills they will need in order to graduate their program and perform in the real world. But does this rehab really work, or will these kids be in a cycle of the system? Braxton Adams, life skill educator for Res Care, had this to say.
So as far as some of the kids, it depends on the kid. Like the autistic kids, I think that we're helping them out and they're getting out the system because they're learning basic everyday necessities, which is what they're here to do. And once they graduate that program, that means they're ready to continue. They can be successful in life. But if they don't complete their program, they're just going to be tossed from system to system. So the goal is to get them out. And a few have gotten out, so I'm hopeful that we're going to get them all out and they won't have to be back in the system.
Not everyone at Res Care feels they have the ability to change every kid's life. A lot of these children really have been tormented and abused to the point where they need more than this rehab center. Victoria Hernandez, another life skills educator, had this to say.
I would say they would get stuck in the system just because where we work, I don't think is best for them. And they probably need more help than what we give them. And if they get sent to another facility, it's just going to be like just a cycle. They're just going to be stuck doing the same thing. It's not going to help them. And they're going to keep jumping to rehab just to get something that isn't going to fix their problem.
Res Care Rehab Without Walls has the ability to change the futures of these kids. When everyone had given up on them, Res Care did not. Hopefully they continue to impact the lives of future generations that are coming before them. Bobcat Report, this is Bryson Kick.
While lots of students are getting ready for fall semester, some students are getting ready to graduate this summer. Chris Santiago says many will wear a fancy graduation stole that's made right here in town.
Creeds and Crest is mostly known for their Greek life apparel, but when graduations are months away, students come here to put in their orders for their custom stoles. The making of these custom stoles all started one day when a student walked in to ask if they could help him with his own stole.
And we were in another place on Hopkins. Our store was over on Hopkins, and he came in with a stole and asked us if we could do something with it. So from that one stole, we started making our own stoles, which was a nightmare. And it took us a while, but we found a good distributor, and it has just grown year over year.
The way these stoles are made is pretty interesting, as it only requires an employee, a computer, and a monogram machine.
That's what you're hearing in the background right now are the monogram machines. And so they have to be hooped, and then everything has to be put up on a computer and then sent over to the machine, and then the machine monograms it.
Now, of course, a graduation stole is not required, but it is something that some students want to have to represent who they are and what they've accomplished. The price for a stole does vary depending on the additional items you'd like to add.
Typically for a standard stole, Texas State class of 2021, the Bobcat in your major is $64.95, and then it's $10 per additional item. So if you're summa cum laude and you want that on there, it's $10.
As long as Texas State students continue their education, Creeds and Crest will always have a home here in St. Marcos, Texas. Chris Santiago, Bobcat Report.
If you're looking for entertainment ideas, you might try the movies. India and Mac just got back from Space Jam.
Space Jam: A New Legacy lives up to its predecessor and dials up the loony to a whole new level. Superstar LeBron James and his young son get trapped in a digital space by a rogue owl.
What's up, Doc?
Bugs! Bring it here, man.
Despite Cinemark theaters losing nearly $4.6 billion, that didn't stop people from wanting to watch the new family movie. Alex Marquez, LeBron's biggest fan, says that this is the most amazing movie he has ever watched.
And the movie Space Jam was like so awesome that I even liked it so much.
Not only previewing in the theaters, Space Jam also premiered on HBO Max streaming service. With a $31.65 million debut weekend, it is thus far a successful disappointment. Another fan, Grace Bettridge, says the movie was appealing to her because it had two of her favorite things.
I just watched Space Jam and I really liked it. And why I liked it is because it had a lot of cartoons and basketball.
Classic.
Welcome to the Space Jam.
Not only can you stream Space Jam: A New Legacy in your local theater, but you can also watch it right there in your home, now through August 15th on HBO Max. India Mac, Bobcat Report.
That's our news for this week. I'm Kennedy Sutton. Join us again next week for another edition of Bobcat Report.